What is up, my friends? It is Tuesday night's late night news roundup here on Anfield Agenda, and my goodness, have we got a packed video for you. We're going to be discussing Liverpool's owners looking at buying another club. This time they're looking at La Liga. Then we're going to talk to you about the deal for Alexander Isak, which just will not go away and has had a bit more credibility put to it over the last 24 hours. Some Anthony Gordon news we'll talk about as well. We'll take you through the latest on Darwin Núñez and his potential move away from Liverpool, as well as a couple of other bits and pieces that we hope will keep you up to date. The big news, of course, the deal for Milos Kerkez that has been agreed between Liverpool and Bournemouth at £40 million. I'll try to keep you up to date on that as I can. Right, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, lots to go through. One shout out once again for our WhatsApp channel. If you'd like to come and join us on there, scan the QR code or use the link in the description. Let's get stuck into it. Let's start off with a recap from the news earlier on. Fenway Sports Group, the owners of Liverpool Football Club, have turned its attention to the La Liga side Getafe as it looks to develop a multi-club model. Now, we have been asking what is going on in that department. You know, we haven't really seen too much over the past season, with one or two brief links, but Getafe for me would be a brilliant bit of business for the club, for the club's owners, I should say. Obviously, in La Liga, 17,000 seater stadium that's getting revamped as we speak, or soon to get revamped. I don't think they're adding any additional seats to it, but they are modernising it a little bit and putting a roof. And again, just a good pathway there for players coming across from South America or younger players to go and gain some experience. So we'll keep you informed if this one happens, but in my humble opinion, it would be a very astute acquisition for FSG. Let's talk a little bit about, let's talk about Julian Ward for a second, actually. I'm going to move on to tell you about the situation with Isak, but Julian Ward, Liverpool's technical director, has been linked with replacing Paul Mitchell at Newcastle. That news came from Craig Houlden of the Daily Mail. I believe he's their northern correspondent, so we'll keep you up to date if anything happens there, but nothing decided as we're aware of yet, but do keep an eye on that situation. Right, Liverpool still in the market for a centre forward, as we know. Alex Crook has said, are they going to pay massive money for Isak? Newcastle are quoting 150 million as their asking price. Possibly. Don't rule it out, he said. Now, don't rule it out sounds nuts when we're talking about 150 million pound. We ran a poll tonight and we asked, what about the potential deal for Isak concerns you the most? So we talked about the price, we talked about his availability, his injury record, or nothing to be concerned about. And the one with the most answers, or the one voted for the most, was the injury record. That is the biggest concern to the Liverpool fans that took part in our poll tonight. Over 3,000 people voted. That's the issue that they think could cause them the most concern if Liverpool did try to get Isak out of Newcastle. Now, I've got more coming up in a second on that, but firstly, just let me know in the comments, is this really possible? Could Liverpool go and spend 120 to 150 million quid on a striker in the same window that we've gone and bought Florian Wirtz for 116 million pound? Financially, it's possible, according to those with a far greater understanding of football finances than me. So, Matt Thielen has said, as I previously reported, Liverpool's interest in Isak is very real. Because of their previous frugal spending, Newcastle's price does not seem to appear to be an issue for Liverpool. Now, it should be an issue because I think anybody who asks would feel £150 million is overvaluing Isak, allowing for the injury record. If he had no injury concerns, maybe you could make an argument for it. But for me, if Liverpool are to make a play there, I'd want that number towards 120, maybe even a little bit below. But let's wait and see. Now, sticking with Newcastle, David C. Kopp has put out what he called an exclusive to say Liverpool have maintained an open dialogue over a potential move for Anthony Gordon. There are many moving parts in this potential signing. However, if Diaz, Jota or other attackers leave, don't be surprised if Liverpool make a move. I would agree with this. Now, I don't have any information to suggest it's imminent, but again, we were interested last summer. Harvey Barnes has come through at Newcastle this season and probably pushed them a little bit aside. Maybe if Liverpool sell Chiesa, I'd love to bring him in. I know people think differently to me about this one, but I think Anthony Gordon at Liverpool would do really well. He'd also help us with the homegrown quota, and he's still a really young footballer. So if Chiesa went out and we brought him in, for me that would be an upgrade because we haven't seen much of Federico. And on Diaz's situation, it looks like that Barcelona door is slamming firmly shut as they're moving towards Nico Williams. So who knows? But do keep an eye on it. As we said, Anthony Gordon, it is another story that just won't go away. This piece here from Anfield Sector, or well, excuse me, it was posted by Anfield Sector, said Liverpool FC first indicated to Bayer Leverkusen in February that they felt they had a good chance of getting Florian Wirtz's commitment. All the way back from then. Now, we know, of course, that he spoke with Bayern Munich, spoke at Liverpool, I think, a few days beforehand. Had already made his mind up at that point that Liverpool was the club he wanted to go to. So listen to what Bayern Munich had to say. Obviously wasn't too impressed with what Vincent Kompany said to him. But we do know that Wirtz is going to be a Liverpool player. That medical booked in for Friday. So we'll let you know when it happens. Let's talk about Darwin Núñez for a moment, because Fabrizio Romano has been speaking a little bit about his situation, and this is what he had to say. In the next days, we will understand more about this deal, potentially Darwin Núñez to Napoli. What Núñez decides to do, whether he wants to move to Italy or prefers big money from Saudi, and the conditions of the deal from Liverpool. So it's still at the early stages of this story. As we've mentioned, Darwin Núñez linked with a move over to Napoli, but they've also been linked in this window to Jack Grealish, believe it or not. They've been linked to Jadon Sancho of Manchester United again. So I don't know what's going to happen here. We do know that Darwin is going to depart Liverpool Football Club, but Napoli, according to other stories earlier on, feel like they could haggle Liverpool down to below 50 million euro, which is what, about 42, 43 million pound. I don't know if Liverpool will go that low, but let's keep an eye on this situation. I guess the longer it drags out, the more chance that Napoli would have of getting Liverpool's price down a little bit, unless a big money offer comes in from Saudi that Darwin was willing to take, because everybody and their dog knows that Liverpool need to and want to sell Darwin Núñez this summer, so that's surely got to have some influence on a potential price for him. We know that Liverpool value him at about 70 million euro, so let's wait and see what happens here. Best guess, do I think he goes to Napoli? No. Just a guess, and it is a guess, like I've said. I just don't get the feeling Napoli will get to a number that will make Liverpool happy, and I think that could be the sticking point. So let me know whether you agree or disagree with that one. And as we mentioned, the breaking news story earlier on, and it's now being covered by every journalist pretty much, is that Liverpool Bournemouth have come to that agreement of £40 million for the signing of KERKEZ. We expect his medical to be next week, according to reports, and of course, we will let you know whenever anything happens. So that's it for tonight. But again, another great stream we had tonight on the Late Night Agenda. Thank you to everyone that joined us. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. You know the routine now. 4:30 or so video, 8:45 stream, and then the late night news roundup like we are right here now. Again, thank you. We'll talk soon. Much love, my friends. Bye-bye.